are live. So, Braxton, number one, I just wanted to say thank you to you for coming on board and joining me on this call. Because I think when I saw your post on Facebook, I just wanted to reach out to you and see if we can, this thing going. So, I mean, just tell the listeners like a bit about yourself, kind of like where you're from, how you started trading, and we can kind of go from there.
Yes, for sure. So I'm from New York, based out in the United States. Um, Now I began trading, I want to say, fall of 2018. I was a freshman in college.
Okay.
I wasn't really, I don't know. I like the college experience, right? But I really wanted to do something more. And
Yep.
that's
Yep.
when I kind of dabbled in, you know, online entrepreneurship, and I ran across Forex.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, cool. Now, obviously, I got into the whole Forex thing, thinking we're gonna make a quick buck. Okay, I'm gonna, we're gonna
Yeah, so
have
many people do.
exactly. I mean, I was 18. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make all this money. We're gonna go places. We're about to travel everywhere. Um, and that just didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Reality
it
sets
was
in.
it was a huge letdown
Yeah.
initially, right? One of the major things, or I want to say, I guess, the difficulties that I had in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
was that mentality, right, of wanting to get rich, okay, without any kind of prior knowledge. Because I mean, you you get crowded, right? Especially, I mean, the forex industry, unfortunately, is very toxic. When it
Yes.
comes to fake gurus,
Yep.
people who really aren't making money in the market. They're just kind of making money off their marketing, right?
Yes. Yes.
And everyone kind of gravitates towards them, unfortunately. And there's people like us, or people who are profitable, who aren't able to kind of reach out because they're like, oh, well, it's not possible. Or I saw it on Facebook a lot. It's not possible to gain 5%. It's not possible to do this, do that,
Yep. Yep.
right? And
Yep. Totally.
that was the kind of environment that I was brought to. And what I had to realize quickly was that everything that everyone says isn't always true, right?
Of course.
So I did my due diligence. I took a step back, and I decided to kind of go my own path and learn the markets my own way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how I learned Forex, I guess for a lot of people, it's unorthodox. I basically taught myself, all right, through
Yep.
trial and error. I didn't buy a single course. The only money I've ever spent was, now I learned it the hard way. Okay, I spent $500 on a quote unquote mentor, and I spent $500 to get web access to babypips.com.
Okay.
Okay, so let that sink in. I paid $500 to get a link to babypips.com, and then nothing else, right? Nothing else. So I learned that quick.
Wow.
I mean, it's funny now. It's funny now. I do laugh about it. I do think about it. But oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
disappointment I'm in my face, it was just, it
I
was
could imagine.
crazy. It was crazy.
I
So
could
I
imagine.
learned quickly. I learned quickly that I needed to get the right education, or just any education, to educate myself. So when I
Mhm.
do look, or if I was potentially looking for someone, I
Mhm.
I definitely have something to kind of fall back on, a little bit of knowledge.
Excellent. And before you discovered Blue Effect trading, just normal with the usual broker, you had like a decent account size. I mean, what were you doing before Blue Effects?
Blufx, I was trading very comfortably.
Okay.
Um, I was, I don't know. I had my account size. Okay, to put it short kind of terms, it was enough for me to kind of live off of. Okay,
Okay.
I worked very hard. I had a very good account size to where I can just make money and be okay.
Nice.
Now, the reason why I decided to kind of take a dabble at BlueFX is because, to be honest, you guys are new to me. I didn't even know prop firms existed until like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And exactly, and I have a lot of people that I help out for free, because I don't really believe in having to monetize Forex knowledge that's so easy to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm having these individuals becoming more profitable. And one thing I don't want them to kind of get out of is proper, risk management. Because, when you have a smaller account, you come into the industry with $100 and you're promised to make 10,000 in 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Um, even when you rewire your brain to not think like that, to risk, 1 to 3% maximum, it's not enough. You're gonna have to have thousands of dollars in your account if you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
practice proper risk. And I definitely decided to try. You guys are definitely a test course for me because I wanted to bring this to other people. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I was reading about it, I'm like, oh heck no, I'm definitely gonna, I was reading the stages. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. Right now, I got
Yeah.
some goals. Instead of just
Yeah.
trading to trade, I'm like, okay, cool, boom, boom, boom. Step one, step two, step three, step four, all
Yeah.
A through Z.
Nice. And I mean, since you've, as you said, you've been trading comfortably before, and now you're trading with Blufx, which means, currently, obviously, your strategy is working for you. I mean, in your opinion, I mean, what are the kind of like essential elements of a good trading plan that you have discovered on your journey so far?
Oh, this is a great question because I don't think a lot of people, I mean, even prominent forex figures, I don't think they really talk about it when it
Hmm.
comes to like an actual trading plan, right? A lot of people, a lot of people's trading plans or like what you see online is like, okay, let's just do the $100 thing. All right. And then they have 90 days written on a spreadsheet. And then they're like, okay, here's a lot size. Here's how many pips I want to obtain. And here's what the money should be at the end of each day.
Hmm.
And I feel like those trading plans set everyone up for failure because you're not going to win every single day.
Of
Right.
course.
And if you start to, I guess, add positions as your days go on,
Hmm.
5 days worth of trading can be wiped out by one singular trade. So a good
Yes.
right. So a good element
I've
or
experienced it.
yes. You're
I
like
think we all have.
mm-hmm. Like you're doing so well, and then all of a sudden you have this
Yeah.
one terribly large loser, and now you're either break even or you're negative for the week. It sucks. But in order to mitigate that, what I've implemented in my trading plan and what I've helped others implement is not only adding that like that whole pip count and trading plan style is okay, but you need to add on. Okay, and when I mean add on, I mean you need to get your strategy. You need to write it down. One, two, three,
Hmm.
4, 5. Okay, so I'm gonna look for a break of a 4-hour uptrend. Okay, and then I needed to break support. I'll wait for a retest, and then I'll get an entry at a lower time frame. Write that
Hmm.
down so
Hmm.
it starts being embedded in your brain to do that every single time you look for a trade. If one of those rules are not met, then you don't trade. And
Yep.
another aspect of a trading plan is also writing down your trading psychology. Now,
Yes.
in terms of trading psychology, I mean, if I lose 2 trades today, I'm done trading for the day. That way you mitigate revenge trading, right?
Hmm.
If let's say I get, I make my daily goal of like $200, I'm done trading for the day.
Yep.
Things like that, things to kind of mitigate any kind of gray area that you may have.
Hmm.
And I think without those two things, without that kind of more specific kind of trading plan, you're setting
Yep.
yourself up for failure or just as not as much success as you would if you were to be more specific.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And actually, that will lead me on to my next question because you just mentioned psychology. And, when it comes to trading, personally, in my experience, I believe that trading is like the greatest personal development tool sort of like ever created because you will learn stuff about yourself that you never knew before. And you'll learn this stuff extremely quickly, how greedy you are, how fearful you are, how reactive you are. And, when, losses happen in the market, I mean, how do you kind of like deal deal with that yourself emotionally from that psychological standpoint?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So in terms of that, right? Excuse me. In terms of
No
that,
problem.
right? What we had, there's a point in time where losses shouldn't affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's just gonna is there's it's just gonna happen naturally, because I remember when I first started trading, losses would hit me like a brick wall. Like I ran into a brick wall. Like
Yeah.
it could even be a small loss. Like I could be a positive for the week, right? And a
Mm-hmm.
loss would just kill me. Like I would be like, I'm done trading. I'm never doing this again. This is a load of crap. I don't want it anymore, right?
Yeah.
But what I realized, and what successful trade, or what people who are trying to be successful in the market need to realize, is that these losses need to be used as learning experiences for you. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I do every single time I lose, right? It could be the day off, or it can be post. I usually go over my trades, post market Friday when the market closes. I'll go over my winners, my
Yeah.
losers, and I'll say, hey, why did I get in? Why did the trade go south? And what can I do next time to minimize the risk? There's some trades where I'm like, no, if I was to do this again, I'd do the same exact thing. All right. And it's just a loser. But there's
Yep.
others, and it was like, oh, I forgot, for a perfect example, NFP was today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, I just got done successfully trading that, but let's say it went sideways, right? And I didn't, and I ended up losing on it. I'd be like, well, and I didn't look at the NFP report. I'd be like, oh, NFP was today. My technicals might have been on point, but NFP, was the reason why price reversed on me. And I can write that down and be like, okay,
Yes.
you know what I mean? This was news, and
Yep.
that's how I really mitigate any kind of bad emotional attachment towards losing trades. You just got to keep doing it.
Yep. 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 Totally agree. And I mean, for instance, like there's a new trader joining Blufx. I mean, what would be one piece of advice that you would give them upon joining?
To not scalp.
Okay.
Um, I know that's very specific,
Mm-hmm.
but I am, as traders, you have to learn the jack of all trades. You have to learn how to scalp. You have to learn how to day trade. You have to learn how to intraday trade or swing trade. You basically you do it kind of subconsciously, right?
Mm-hmm.
You learn strategies for each kind of time frame, and just time lapse in general.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can say is, because BlueFX offers a 1 to 3 leverage, you cannot scalp and be as successful as you want to be. Now, this is from personal experience. That's how my trading kind of changed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I used to scalp a lot because I'm like, I'm by myself. I'm gonna take an hour or two, sit on the charts, and just scalp my way, through London session. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just have some
Mm-hmm.
fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to find those big moves, reversal points, stuff like that, in order for
Yep.
you to kind of be able to hit your 5%, right? In
Yep.
order to hit, or any goal you have, 15, 20%.
Yep.
Any crazy goal, you need that swing, or you need that day trade mentality. Because once you start to scalp, what can happen is you might win 1 or 2 scalps, but then you can lose 1 or 2 scalps, and it kind of becomes more of a break even strategy and a
Yep.
slightly profitable one, rather than you're winning, and you're winning big. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
I hear you. I hear you. And I mean, did you discover? I know you said you discovered like prop trading only about a month ago, a couple of months ago. I mean, did you try out any other firms before Blue Effect?
No, you guys were the first one.
Okay.
Now it you the monthly subscription appeased me a lot, because it before I even read any of your FAQs, or just kind of looked up your business in general.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that clicked in my mind is, I don't have the pressure of having to trade every day if I'm just paying a small monthly subscription,
Yep.
right? And that was the thing that kind of drew me in. And I was thinking about the people that I'd be helping out if this was successful, right?
Mhm.
And that is not a lot of money to trade capital. And then the thing is, if you wanna really put this into like terms, right? You can pay for 3 months, right? And
Mhm.
then if you just do one withdrawal, it literally covered your 3 months of trading,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? So I like that a lot. That's what really kind of drew me in. And the fact that there wasn't any the prop firms I was looking for. I was actually only looked at one prop firm beforehand, and they had like a 3 month verification period. You pay and you don't even know if you're gonna get the capital to trade with because you got to pass and everything like that. So it was like, I don't know. I
I
can't
know. I
bring those
think
to the people.
Blufx. Yeah, I think Blufx is kind of like just streamline the process of, letting everybody have that opportunity.
Exactly.
Regardless of your background, education, no tests, no demo challenge accounts or anything like that. You simply just pay a subscription and you go.
Yes.
You know, and like yourself, you said that kind of like attracted you to it, and I think that's kind of like the main attraction. And not only that, we give you a decent amount of capital as well, and the growth targets are not completely out of this world. They are very achievable, and that's I think that's really good. I think another question, extremely geared up for this and kind of like very prepared. So I think the next question that I'd like to ask you is like, how do you kind of like keep your focus and measure that to a case where you think, okay, my focus is off, maybe today isn't the right day for me to trade, but how do you keep yourself geared and on point on a daily basis? Do you do anything like meditation or anything like that, or do you keep fit, keep yourself healthy? I mean, what is it for you that helps keep that focus there for you?
Oh man, it's literally. I mean, this is not a secret. I don't think people always, they want to know that question. They want to like dive into your mind and just
Yeah.
pick you apart. And it's literally the passion. Like I've developed a out of this world passion for Forex. If you stick with anything for, 6+ months and you do it on a day-to-day basis or almost every day,
Hmm.
and you start to, it feels like you're married to whatever you're doing. It feels like
Yes.
the commitment. If you're let's say you don't trade let's say you don't trade a week. I mean, you have like an empty hole in your heart, you know what I mean, because you're on vacation, like let's say you go on vacation, you don't trade. It feels like that.
I totally understand. It's like, when the weekend comes, it's like, damn, I just want Monday to hurry up?
Exactly, and that's the main thing. But to kind of draw back and kind of answer it a different way.
Hmm.
um Man, it's really just being focused, and for me it was me coming back from college and just locking myself in my room
Hmm.
and putting my head down and learning,
Yep.
back testing.
Hmm.
I'd have friends all the time. Hey, Braxton, do you want to go out? Do you want to have some fun? I mean, I live 3 minutes away from a lake. Hey, you want to get on the lake? It was always no, maybe next
Yep.
time, right? And you'll find out who your friends are, who your friends aren't. You'll find out who supports and who doesn't,
Yep.
and it really makes it easier for your psychological aspect of things too, right?
Yep.
um and I think that's a kind of second way to look at it. Put your head down, learn, and just enjoy the grind. Don't hate it, enjoy it, right?
Yep.
Enjoy every
Yep.
second you're learning. Enjoy every moment you're looking in the chart or watching a video, or
Hmm.
anything based around Forex, because once you find that enjoyment, you're not going to want to stop.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of like an definitely. And I mean, has trading kind of like impacted you as an individual in any way? Has it kind of like changed you in any way?
This is a good question. I was actually, kind of, it was one that almost stumped me in terms of, individual development. But I
Mm-hmm.
do think that it did change me. Now, I can think of a great example. So I never used to be, when you're trading, you're looking at so many things. You're trying to look at the bigger picture, right? You're looking at specific little details. You go from the big picture to the smallest of things,
Mm-hmm.
within one pair, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to pick apart everything. You're trying to understand all the concepts and everything like that.
Yep.
And that definitely translated into my life, because this is so funny. About a couple weeks ago, my mom stopped me. I was asking her a question. She was like, "Braxton, you're asking way too many questions." And the thing is, I was just putting chicken nuggets in the oven, right? She asked me to put chicken nuggets in the oven. I was like, "Mom, what temperature did the chicken nuggets go?" Because I know that she cooks chicken nuggets a lot. She's like, "Look it up." I was like, "Well, do they go in and do you have to flip them halfway?" She's like, "Read it." I was like, "Okay, it says 7 minutes, but don't you put it in for 6 minutes?" And then she started getting annoyed. And I've realized that trading makes me question every single little thing. All right. And I want to know I want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
gives
Yeah.
me a better understanding of the situation. So I
Yeah.
think that's what trading's done.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I definitely understand that perspective. Makes you just pick everything apart. I totally get it. And I mean, while you're currently trading with Blufx, I mean, what is your kind of like ultimate goal? Because some people come in with the mindset of, they want to create an income for themselves. So maybe they stay at like 50 or 100K and then just keep withdrawing. I mean, what's your main goal for yourself while you're at Blufx?
Listen, I'm gunning it. Okay. I'm gunning it to stage 4, right? Is that stage 4, the $1
Yeah,
million funded account?
yeah,
I'm just going, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I mean, the the opportunity, right? So I already have a steady income, right? But the opportunity to manage $1 million account is literally unheard of.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like unspeakable. It's like no one's done that, or at least to my knowledge hasn't done that. And that's just an awesome opportunity that you cannot give up.
Yeah.
And so that's where my mindset was. I mean, I withdrew 5%, right? I mean, I've actually only been with you guys for a little over a month, maybe like a month and 4 or 5 days. I
That's
withdrew just to
amazing.
see,
That's
the
amazing.
process, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm currently up about 8% already, and it's July. So what I'm looking to do is, I'm not
That's
trying to be,
incredible.
thank
That's
you. I'm not
incredible.
I'm not trying to be the fastest person, right? But I'm definitely challenging myself each and every day to get better as a trader, right?
Yeah.
For a good example is London market opens my time at 3 a.m. I'm up at 2:45 in the morning every single day, all the way until 4 p.m.
That's
Okay,
dedication.
trying to understand the market. Now, I might not be on my phone, or might not be on the computer the whole time,
Hmm.
but I'm definitely tuned in to Forex. I
Yeah.
try to find my setups in the morning, when London opens, because honestly, it's the best time, personally speaking, to trade.
Hmm.
Okay, and then I'm able to manage throughout, New York session and whatnot. But that's the
Okay.
kind of, that's what I do, and that's why I'm hoping to gun it, just keep going.
So I mean, like, what do you have pairs that you focus on, or do you trade one pair, or are you trading different pairs when your setup arrives? I mean, how does your structure kind of like look like on a daily basis?
Oh man, I'm married to a pair, and it's GBP USD.
So that's the only
Um,
trade, the
that's
only
basic.
pair you trade.
Yes, we have a good relationship with each other. Um,
Do you know what, Braxton? Just quickly, because you're a man after my own heart. Because the only pair that I trade is the pound yen. Literally, so it's like that's like literally people don't understand that if you can find one pair and you can develop that pair, you can trade that pair in multiple ways, um, consistently on a daily basis to bring in income, to navigate pips, to embolden your awareness, and building a relationship with one pair makes life so much easier and so much clearer that you just come in naturally focused because you've developed this relationship over time, just like you would with a woman or a friend or anybody else, that like and trust them. So when you come in and they give you a signal, it's like, oh yeah, I'll take that. So like
Exactly.
I'm so happy you said that. Go a bit deeper into that for me, please.
So I used to be someone who trade like everything, right?
Yeah.
I'd find my setup, I get into it. All right, and my risk and my win rate was pretty decent, way above. I think it was like 75, 80%, just trading whatever pair I wanted. And what I really wanted to do, it kind of actually came naturally. I always gravitated to GBP USD because of the volatility and kind of how it worked
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And the one thing that kind of put the cherry on top of the sundae per se is me back testing just GBP USD for weeks on end. I mean, I'd go back in the charts as far as I possibly could with my back test tool, and I wouldn't. And I literally, I think I back tested the month of March like 8 times.
Okay.
And because to me it was like, well, if I can do it once, I should be able to do it again, and then I
Yep.
should be able to do it again. Entries might not be the same, right? But I should overall still have the same bias for any kind of pair or for any kind of setup that I have within that pair. So I really just hammered GBP USD, and I fell in love with the way that it moved, and it kind of connected with me really, really quickly throughout. The thing is, because I didn't just backtest one specific strategy on GU. I backtested many and kind of put a conglomerate of everything that worked and made it into a singular strategy just for the pair.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, because I see traders, like sometimes they tell me that they're watching like 10 or 15 or 20 pairs. I'm just like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
You just can't keep a clear. It's hard enough watching one, let alone watching like 10 or 15 pairs, and then having to basically use that strategy over all of these pairs that are all doing different things simultaneously, But when you've got your focus, definitely make things a lot simpler. And actually, just something that you mentioned in what you were speaking about there, in terms of backtesting. I mean, how much of an important role did that play in your development?
Oh man, I hated the thought of backtesting when I first started. There were so many people who were like, backtest, backtest, backtest. But I was like, no, I'm gonna forward test
Yeah.
with real money and more real money, and just blow
Yeah.
accounts, blow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was down that slippery slope for a little bit.
Yep.
But I came out and I learned from my mistakes. And back testing, it actually, like, just like finding one pair, it came naturally after a certain point in time.
Yep.
Especially when you're looking at a pair. Okay, you're able to break down the pair. You're able to know, how candlestick structures. You're able to go down to the smallest of time frames and able to predict, market reversals and price points.
Yep.
Back testing definitely plays a huge role. If anyone really, really, really wants to be successful, you have to back test. And then not only that, forward test your back test, right? You can back test for forever, but you have to make sure that your strategy works on current market structure as well.
Yep. Perfect. Perfect. Well, look, Braxton, I think we can leave it there for today. I really appreciate this because I think you've kind of like, I don't know, I think you've inspired me today, just hearing, you really have inspired me today, and I think you would have, I think you'll inspire our listeners as well, because I think they can truly see what it takes, and the simplicity of what you've done and how hard that you've worked and the dedication that you've put in, and the dedication that it actually takes to get to the level that you're at. whereby, you know, you can see the market, you have built a relationship with the market, you don't really allow losses to affect you because, you know, you see that as part of the game and part of your structure and part of your play. You know, I think it would just, you know, allow traders to kind of like take a step back and really look at their current situation, what they're doing, where they're at, and reflect on it, and, you know, be able to optimize how they trade in the right way. And I think, you know, you're definitely inspiring, my man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind words. I'm happy that I was able to talk about it. You know, I talk about it to a few people, but you know, we got some listeners now, so whoever's listening, you know, have some fun with the words I said.
Excellent. Excellent, Braxton. Well, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate this, and I'll let you know when it's out.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem, my man. And you take care now.
Alrighty, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.